All right. So I watched Taxi Driver. I found it engaging and suspenseful
Mhm.
and like crescendoing, where
Mhm.
you're watching this character and it seems more and more like psychologically he's getting deeper and deeper into these darker thoughts and almost like in his own world, to where the end then it kind of is this big finale in a way, and you see the results of this like buildup releasing. But I was unsatisfied with the actual ending.
Why?
I think he should have. So, spoiler alert. So this character Travis Bickle, he's a former Vietnam vet. He comes back and then he has an insomnia. So then he's a taxi driver at night. So he rides around, but he's like unafraid to pick up anybody. He goes into all these different parts of town and he sees, uh, he what he would call like the garbage and like scum of the city, and he then becomes determined in a way to clean it up. And then there's this political presidential candidate, and he gives him a ride in his taxi, and it's kind of like this symbolic, when we look at the way I kind of perceived it, is that there's this political, when exploring aspects of society, films I think will throw a political character in there, but all these political characters are kind of like stock characters, all saying kind of the same things, and they're symbolic of kind of the this same like solutions for problems. It's like, oh, this person, this one individual now will bring hope and bring prosperity to all, and it's kind of like this role in a way, but it takes a toll. And he sees prostitution, so he is determined to save this 12-year-old prostitute, and then in the end he like shoots everybody around her so that she can be free. Now, I thought he should have died in that scene. I think that would have been a better ending. Instead, he goes into a coma, he wakes up, and everybody, the newspapers, they talk about him being a hero, and then he goes back to work being a taxi driver.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if he just died there.
Why? What would have been the purpose of like doing that, of like killing the character at the end?
I think by having him live and being a hero, it becomes a little cliche and
Okay.
conventional. Whereas I feel like the nature of the film is to show the darkness of this individual and kind of the unpleasant side or unseemly side of a human being. And then to go through this dramatic sequence of shooting and death, this character then lives. It seems contrary to what the film kind of vibe was.
Yeah, but I think that even that if he lives, it's not like, I mean, you say, okay, he ends up in this kind of like hero-like position, but I don't think so. Because I mean, he's gonna live with that for the rest of his life. I mean, it's a trauma that he already has upon the trauma um of just like murdering these people and then just like go with it, you know? And he's gonna go back to be a taxi driver. So it's like living in that same miserable loop. endlessly. No, that's the
I don't
way
know.
I.
It felt like that would have been the best ending if he died, but then they were like, oh shoot, we got to wrap up this with this other character that he wanted to date. So we'll put her in the backseat of his taxi, and then they'll have like one final goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I guess it just didn't seem as impactful. The ending didn't seem as impactful as if if he would have died in the scene. I don't know.
It is interesting. I mean, it is a good take on it. I think so. Like it's always, I'm a huge fan of like killing characters for some reason because it has an impact, right? It's like you say, it has, and it could have been different. It would have been more like memorable, probably. But also I think that just leaving a character to leave with that weight, and then going back just to like the ordinary life that they had, like being a taxi driver, it's gonna like, okay.
So then it leaves the viewer thinking, oh, now he has to continue living, and the burden you had mentioned, the burden. Okay, I see that too.
Yeah, like I think that was the point. I think so. I mean, also if you think about it, he can't sleep at night. That's why he's a taxi driver, right?
Yeah.
Now he's gonna have less time to sleep, like because of what he's done. I think. I don't know. We should ask Scorsese. Maybe.
Oh, we should.